Hello, and welcome to Mini Music Monday, the musical subsidiary podcast of the Raw Impressions podcast subsidiary. Today, Lou pays tribute to Flipper with a lackluster cover of Flipper's song, Life. Life is the only thing worth living for.
Why is it lackluster?
Good try, Lou.
Okay.
Because he said so.
Oh.
Mini Music Monday guy said so because he knows. He's heard it.
Okay.
Already. I was really, I just got a real bee in my bonnet to do a Flipper cover because I'd been talking about him off and on throughout the week. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Now, what do you understand Flipper to be?
I don't know. What do you mean? Like what kind of music?
They're a band.
Yes. They're a band.
I'm quizzing.
Oh.
I'm quizzing you.
Oh, I'm failing miserably.
Wow, I saw that. I saw the fear in your eye when I said that.
I know. I'm really bad at quizzes.
Okay. Well, I'm an old guy. I'm 59 years old, and Flipper were a formative influence on me. Flipper were a band from San Francisco. They formed in 1979.
Wow.
Yep.
I was 2.
You were 2,
mm-hmm.
and I was like 12. And I think I heard him for the first time when I was 13 or so. I heard a wonderful song called Ha Ha Ha, He He He, Ho Ho Ho, a single. Heard it on the radio. I bought it. Fantastic. Total deconstruction of music. So exciting. So catchy. And they were a huge influence on me. I hadn't thought about them in a long time, but recently, Bruce Calderwood, his real name, he died. He was a lead singer for the band starting in 1979.
Okay.
He went under the name Bruce Lose at first.
Okay.
And then he changed his punk rock name to Bruce Loose later on.
Uh-huh.
But he passed away recently. But he's not the first member of Flipper to pass away.
Oh, okay.
The first was Will Shatter.
Oh, is that also his stage name?
Yeah, they kind of had punk rock stage names.
That's a cool name, Will Shatter.
I know, and he was really cool. I think he was kind of like the musical. I think he wrote a lot of the songs for the band.
Okay.
In my impression, there's really not a lot of information about Flipper, and there are no documentaries about Flipper.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're wrong.
I'm totally wrong. There are people who are very passionate about Flipper, like myself.
Mm-hmm.
I could say Kurt Cobain also, very, almost evangelical about the band and, acknowledged the profound influence the band had. And they're referred to as a hardcore band, hardcore punk rock, but they're not.
Song commencing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyway.
In 4 low harmonica notes.
Okay, want to get me?
Oh, okay. I've got to video you. Okay, okay.
You gotta
I'm doing it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
the only thing worth living for. It's life. Life. Life is the only thing worth living for. It's life. Life.
I know it's got its ups and downs. All right.
Do I stop recording you now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. That was me
Doing that song?
doing that song.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure that Bruce Lewis sang it because he and Will Shatter would switch off on vocals and bass.
Oh,
So
okay.
Will sang some of the songs, Bruce sang some of the songs. I could have done some more homework and really got into it, but I had to make my cover.
Will Shatter sang the
Not
song.
really.
Will
not, no.
sang it.
They're
Not
so
Bruce.
pre-internet, really, and people really. I did find a list of every show they played, which is pretty cool.
Wow. That
Yeah.
sounds fun.
That was fun, and but anyway, so I saw them play.
Where'd you see them play?
I saw them play at the Guiding Star Grange here in Greenfield.
Wow. That actually just put a little tingle in
Yeah,
my
see,
arms. My goodness.
The
A
town
local?
the town that we now live in,
Yeah.
Adele,
Yes.
was very important for me as a young man because all the good shows were here.
You came up from Westfield.
I drive up here a long way. Can you imagine?
That's a haul.
It's a haul. It was
Yeah.
it was a long time. It was like at least 45 minutes to an hour to get here.
Sure.
And I
Yeah.
went to many shows at the Guiding Star Grange.
Wow.
I'm thinking that maybe the Flipper show was one of the last shows I saw at the Guiding Star Grange because it was in 1983, November 19th, 1983.
How old were you then?
I was 17.
Okay.
It was my senior year of high school.
Wow. Did you come up with anyone for the show?
I have no fucking idea.
Don't know how you got here.
Probably Scott Helland, maybe.
Scott should know.
Scott would know.
I think he'll know. Like, did he drive you?
He didn't drive me. He wasn't driving yet. I was driving. I think I had just started driving. Yeah, that was my year of when I was becoming free. Mm-hmm. It was my senior year in high school. I was also, my tastes in music were changing pretty drastically at that point. But Flipper, they were above style, really. The fact that they're kind of like pigeonholed as a hardcore band is
Yeah.
unfortunate because
I agree.
Because you had never heard of them before, and I played them for you the other day, and you were like, "Oh, this is cool," which is like kind of shocked me because they're such a guy band. There's a lot of punk rock and hardcore and the history of it. It's a real
Very male.
It's very male, and people get real opinionated about it. But I have to say, in retrospect, I think that they were the beginning for me of like music kind of being exploded into bits because the guitar player didn't really play standard chords. He did, but he just mangled them to this degree that it created this huge wash, but it was all pinned down with incredible drum
Song
beats.
resuming in
Oh, it's
5 harmonica notes.
Yeah, they would play this song for
harmonica
sounds like
notes.
8 minutes long at least.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait. Do I have to video you again, or are we good?
I don't know. You don't have to.
Okay.
So here I am.
Did you make that shirt
I did.
for that show?
No, for today.
Oh, you just made that. That's so cute.
That's my grossest t-shirt.
Found out what
They were late to the show. They were late. The show started at 6. And this was on a Saturday. So they were like weekend matinees, basically. But they didn't show up until like really late. But it was incredible because they were in their truck. They had I think the whole tour was themed on their truck. So they rolled up in this like absolutely this shitty old spray painted truck, and they rolled out and they looked like dirt bags, like real dirt bags, older punk rock guy dirt bags. They really looked like they had nothing to lose. Like they looked like they were just rolling. They were the roughest band I had ever seen, just looking band I had ever seen. And I'd seen a lot of hardcore bands up until that point. I saw Husker Du.
Had you already seen Husker Du?
I'd already seen Husker Du. They just looked tired. They also, I mean, to say that they had nothing to lose wasn't really the case. They looked like they were just kind of losing, for lack of a better description. They just looked bummed, Husker Du. They looked tired. These guys just looked kind of fucked up. And when they played, but they set up, we were waiting, they played. And the thing is that the drummer of that band is so incredibly powerful. And he always would play kind of mid-tempo. They were not a hardcore band. Like, it was just like, boom, ka, boom, boom, ka, and he would just lay into it in the whole place. Like, as you know, the Guiding Strike Range, it's a big...
Yeah.
We've been there for our kids, like, for...
Our end-of-the-year performance.
End-of-the-year performances.
Type
Yeah,
thing.
talent shows.
Yeah.
But the drums started playing, and then just the big, heavy bass line started to emerge, and they would just... And then the guitar with its kind of gnarled, this absolutely gnarled post-punk, post-everything chaos just filled that room.
I bet.
And it was like, because that was the great thing about the dynamic of the band. They had the very low bass that underpinned it, you know, and then they would have just this crazy guitar. So there was a lot of space within the music, which you noticed when I played it for you, which I thought was so cool. And really was making me just, I had that little thing welling up inside me, like, I gotta go off about how great Flipper are and how nobody else understands them and how, you know, like, people don't know. I can feel that fervor of fandom, the fiery fervor of fandom rising in me. And I don't always get that.
I thought those lyrics were rather touching.
They're so touching.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
They're... Yeah.
Thank you for listening to
I'm not done.
this episode of
Yeah.
Mini Music Monday.
I wanted to know...
Monday, the musical subsidiary of the Raw Impressions podcast.
Subsidiary.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a
Yes.
question?
Yes.
Since you don't really know how you got there, maybe you don't remember this either, but so you were already there at the Grange and you're saying they were late. So was it like a situation then where they just like rolled in and you just watched them like put all their shit on the stage,
Yes.
assemble the drum set, and then just
Yeah.
go hi and then start playing? Like,
Yeah.
and everyone's just kind of milling around, like looking
Yeah.
at them. Was there a lot of people there? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't think it was like packed. It's hard to tell. Those shows were so exciting to me. They could have been absolutely full or they could have been empty. I would never have noticed, and I didn't care. You know, I didn't care
You
how
were in
many
your
people were
own
there.
little
I was
bubble
absolutely. I'm like
experience,
I am
right?
like Flipper are here. I mean, it was just Flipper are here.
So I want to know, so you saw the whole tour schedule. Where did they come from the night before then?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't look at the schedule.
Well,
You
that's
didn't
what
know.
maybe would tell you where they were late, you know?
No, they were late because they were Flipper and they didn't give a fuck. That was the thing.
I still would like to know where they played the night before.
They played at CBGB's in New York City the night before, and then they went back
Could have played Boston.
the
Maybe they
night
came from New
after.
York.
Yeah, maybe they came from
They
Pennsylvania. They
came
were
from
tired.
the Bowery.
I bet they had the shortest drive ever, and they just didn't show up. I mean, the bass player,
And went back to the Bowery.
Will Shatter, the guy, he kind of looked like the coolest guy too. And they all kind of look good in a weird,
Yeah.
in a real like.
I was like, oh, they're kind of
he thought they were
sexy.
cute, which I
like,
thought was
what's
interesting.
going
I'm like,
on?
But Will Shatter died in 1987 of a drug overdose. So there was a super druggy vibe to them anyway. I mean, I don't know the specifics, but they looked like they were not straight edge. Let's put it that way.
They weren't straight edge hardcore.
No.
And they weren't even really hardcore. I don't understand
They were not
that.
hardcore. Well, they played with punk bands, and there was no professionalism about them. There was no, they could play one song for a half an hour, and that would be a Flipper show. And there's a beautiful quote about them, because I was reading about them, that someone said, when Flipper were terrible, they were great. And when they were great, they were great. Which I'm like, because I don't know if it was a good show that we saw, but all you needed to hear was the sound of the band, because the sound itself was just this purifying. They sound, and I think what I had really forgotten about them, or what I really wanted to say, is how powerful they were. And because they were so powerful, they could do anything. They were kind of like, as if you were watching, let's say you were watching a heavy hard rock band, and then in the middle of the song, they all lose their minds, but they just keep playing. And that's what it was like. It was like everything being torn apart before your eyes, but the heartbeat and just the sludgy 4-note bass lines that just completely kept it all grounded. They were so odd. Sometimes I sort of struggle to explain why things were so difficult for Sebadoh, like why Sebadoh was always battling something. What made the early years of Sebadoh so chaotic and made the band? And when you said, I was playing Flipper for you, and you said, I was like, yeah, they were a big influence on Sebadoh. And she said, and Adele said, it sounds like Sebadoh. And I'm like, oh my God. We did Flipper covers all the time. Eric Gaffney.
So why would you think then that didn't make you successful?
Well, the thing is, like, Flipper, they just dissolved. I mean, they had a very long and very tortured career. Nothing happened. I mean, they were signed briefly by Rick Rubin, who was a huge fan. Rick Rubin was a huge fan. Rick Rubin had a band called Hose, who sounded a lot like Flipper, interestingly. So they did have opportunities. They did, but they just shot themselves in the foot continuously. And
I see what you're saying. Okay.
So, and Sebadoh did. That's what we did. We just truly
the kings of shooting yourselves in your own feet.
Sebadoh. I mean, like, we wanted to confuse people. We wanted, and but it was a lot of that. I mean, that was my influence. When I saw a band like Flipper do that was freedom. I'm like, this is a band that's free. This is artistically free. This is like musically untethered by tradition. And when I saw that happening, I was like, that's what I want. I want to be unpredictable. I want those accidental moments become beauty, because that's really what was them, is like, you just never knew. Like, they hit moments that were like angelic. I mean, just like, and who knows how they even got there. It was not premeditated. It was not, and I never forgot that sense of how, when something is not premeditated, when you do just allow all of this freedom, that beautiful things, totally unpredictable, beautiful things can happen. And I never quite shed that, and it's been in some ways that's made my path a little rockier than it would have been had I just kind of focused on one thing and made things easy, but I loved people who were unpredictable, like Eric Gaffney and even Jason and myself. We were all unpredictable day to day, how we would react when we got on stage. And we often felt like we needed to be honest. And if honest meant not playing the guitar or playing it totally differently or improvising a whole set, then that's what we would do. So thanks, Flipper.
I love your shirt you made. It's so cute.
Well, that was the thing that everybody made their own. I know that there's Flipper t-shirts available there now, but back in 82, you know, when I really discovered them, you had no choice but to take a Sharpie and draw it on your jeans.
Make your own, yeah.
And, you know, Kurt Cobain famously did that for, I believe, the Saturday Night Live appearance. One of the first appearances of Nirvana, he was representing for Flipper.
Wearing a homemade Flipper t-shirt.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And,
Well, I hope Frances Bean Cobain has it and she gets to wear it to bed and stuff and is like, this is my dad's homemade Flipper shirt.